Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Melissa and today I have two new cases for y'all. If y'all new here, I do talk about missing children case, and I also just started a new series called Gone Too Soon, and I talk about celebrities that have passed away. So today's case, I'm actually going to do, like I said, I'm going to do two different cases. I'm going to start with the longest, the one that has more information, and then I will do the one that does not have a lot of information. The one that does not have a lot of information will piss you off because it pissed me off to the core. I usually do not upload my videos until like in the afternoon, but I decided to start to do it right now because obviously my daughter has school tomorrow, and so I have to get all that stuff ready for her for tomorrow. So let's go ahead and get started. So today we're going to be talking about Susie, Soon, King, and Jillian. I'm going to do Jillian's case first, just because, like I said, her case is a little bit longer than her other one. So, and then Susan's case, she does have a name, but I don't know how to say it. So once I do her case, I will Google it to see how to say it. So we're just gonna start with Jillian. She went missing from Norfolk, Nebraska. Her clothing: purple shirt, blue jeans, and white Nike sneakers. Caucasian female, blonde hair, blue eyes. Jillian's teeth are crooked. She has 2-inch vertical scar on the crown of her head and a horizontal scar on her right upper lip. Her nickname is Jill. Jillian was last seen at approximately 6:30 a.m. on August 13th of 1987 in North Fork, Nebraska. Her parents are divorced and she lived in Grand Bend, Kansas with her mother, Joseph Cutshall, and her brother. She was visiting her stepmother and her father, Roger, in Norfolk when she disappeared. They lived in McKinney Apartments. She didn't like to stay in their apartment alone, so when they left to work earlier that morning, she started walking to her babysitter resident 4 blocks away. Jill never arrived and has not been seen again. Her babysitter assumed she decided to stay home and she wasn't missing until after 3 p.m. when her stepmother went to the babysitter home to pick her up and found out she wasn't there. 3 months after her disappearance, her clothes, shoes, and keys were found in a wooden duck wildfire referee in Centennial, Nebraska, 10 miles from her father's home. In 1988, a tip leaked to to David C. Helps, a man who lived in Rogers' apartment building and had met Jillian. Police interviewed him twice in the spring of 1988. In the second interview, he told the detective he has been molesting children since he was in his teens and preferred blonde girls between the ages of 4 and 6. He described 6 incidents as sexual contact with girls. Charges were never filed in connection with any of the alleged assaults. Phil stated he liked Jillian's blue eyes, but she was too old for his liking. On January of 1889, a private investigator hired drove Phelps to the wildfire referee where Jillian's clothes were found. Later that day, Phelps gave an estimate to a television crew, and the investigator had waiting and stated that he and another neighbor, Cameron Bergenden, who had recorded for sexual assault, took Jill to the referee. He described the child's clothes and undergarments correctly and said he held her down while the other one molested her. He stated he became nervous and left Bergender and Jill alone and they drove back home, and he never saw the child again. The other dog, because I'm not going to say his name, denied having anything to do with Jillian's disappearance, and he has never been charged in connection with it. When police interviewed Phelps, the other dog, he recanted his previous statement, stating that they were coerced by the private investigator. He was released without charges as authorities didn't think they had enough evidence. Both men left the state shortly afterwards. Borman went to California and Phelps to Ohio. Joyce started a petition drive to force a grand jury to convene and open an investigation. The grand jury indicated Phelps for abduction with intent to commit sexual assault. He was convicted in the spring of 1991 and sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole. Joyce died in Norfolk in 2022 at the age of 68, 35 years after her daughter disappeared. And her obituary, it was noted that Jill predeceased her. Jill's brother and his children are alive, as well as other members of the extended family. No one has been charged with causing Jill's death. Although she was declared legally dead after Phil's conviction, she has never been located. So with this case, I do feel like he has something to do with it, because there's no way that you can describe somebody's child, somebody's clothes, unless you were there. Now, it could happen if the description of what she wearing was talked about on the news or was put on the flyers, which they didn't even say if they had flyers going on. I'm assuming they did. But I feel like those two people had something to do with it, because like I said, how can you describe what a child is wearing from head to toe if you weren't even with that child? So that to me feels like he knew exactly what happened, and like it sucks because you don't have enough evidence to convict them, even though your guts tells you that it was this person. Was it both of them? Who knows? Was it one of them? Probably. But I do hope that we find answers. I hope that if anybody that knew these two individuals, call the detectives and let them know, no matter what. Even if you don't think it's important, let them know. I will leave the information to who you could call for this case. The other case we're going to be talking about, guys, this case is like, this is the reason why I do these type of case. This is why I wanted to start this. So her name is, let me tell y'all guys, hold on, because her name is so hard to. Gwendolyn. So today we're going to be talking about Gwendolyn Susie King. She went missing from Oklahoma City, Oklahoma. Her height and weight is 4'5", 5'4", 100 to 115 pounds. Caucasian female, red hair, brown eyes, and Gwendolyn nickname is Sue. So I didn't tell you about Jillian height and weight. So let me go back and tell y'all, because I like to tell y'all everything. So her height, she went missing when she was 9 years old. Her height and weight is 4'6" and 65 pounds. So now we're going to go to Gwendolyn. Okay, so Gwendolyn was last seen in Oklahoma City, Oklahoma, in September 1st of 1982. Her sister dropped her off at the Gwendolyn at Greenhow bus station so she could take a bus to San Bernardino, California, to meet up with her mother and attend high school. She never arrived, and it is not even clear whether she got in the bus at all. She has never been heard from again. Although Gwendolyn's family contacted law enforcement about her disappearance in 1982, they refused to take her missing person report at the time. Her mother hired a private investigator who was unable to find her. Her disappearance went unreported. Let me just repeat this before I tell y'all the year. Her disappearance went unreported until 2022. Her case remains unsolved. Her disappearance went unreported in 2022. This beautiful young girl, Gwendolyn Susie King, went missing in 1982. The family called the cops to tell them my child is missing, and they didn't want to take it serious because they thought she was a runaway. Her mom hired a private detective. The private detective couldn't even find her. And because all of these years, the detectives, the cops, wanted to sit here and tell her family, no, she's a runaway. She ran away. So they couldn't report her because they wouldn't take this family serious. So they reported her in 2022. That's when they decided, I guess she wasn't a missing child. I guess she wasn't a runaway. She's actually missing. Really? What gave that away? And I don't want to hear talking about like, back then we couldn't, we couldn't see if she used the Social Security. Mind you, for you to get a job, you have to have a Social Security. For you to go to school, you have to have some type of birth certificate. You have to have some type of information. Did they not think about doing all that? Like, going to schools to see if she was in the schools, if she got in a job at a certain age, was she in the hospital? They didn't think of nothing to do that. This is the reason why I do what I do. Because of this. I could not imagine the pain that has to go through this family every single day, not knowing what happened to this baby girl. If they would have taken this family serious in 1982, there could have been a possibility that they could have found her and could have found someone or some type of information of who took this little girl. But because they wanted to sit here in their crazy mind and said that she ran away for who knows what reason, nothing the family could do. Nothing. Nothing at all. It's just mind-blowing to me. Mind-blowing to me. I don't know if she has families still alive today. I'm hoping they do. Trust me, this probably will not be the first case that I will be saying. That would have taken this long for the detectives to finally do what they're supposed to do. It does happen a lot. It does happen to where detectives and the family have to go through years and years and years and years and years not knowing. This family could not do anything. I'm not saying they probably did. They probably did something there on their own. They probably searched and searched and searched. They didn't give up. They didn't give up. But what breaks my heart is knowing that they had to wait until 2022 to report this child missing. And I hope and pray that this family get the answer that they deserve. Because it's not fair that they knew in their hearts. They knew in their hearts that she didn't run away. Why run away? For what? They knew she didn't. She was going to start high school. She was going to be with her mom again. And I'm going to assume that they didn't question anybody in the bus because they don't even know they got in the bus. Why? Because the detective did not want to question anybody. If they would have done what they were supposed to, if they would have questioned the people in the bus, if they would have done what they were supposed to do, there's a possibility that this family would have got an answer sooner. And it sucks that it did not happen. I will see y'all tomorrow, guys, again with the new case. I will be doing Gone Too Soon, a celebrity. So y'all go ahead and look out for that. Have a wonderful Sunday. If y'all live in Houston, please, can somebody ask me why is it cold outside? Yeah, it's cold. It was thundering yesterday in the middle of the night. But it wasn't thundering that bad. And now it's cold outside. Yeah. Wonder why. But y'all have a good day. Blessed Sunday. And y'all take care. And I will leave the information of who y'all could contact with this information. If y'all know something, please, please, please call the detectives and the police, or just anything, no matter how small it is, no matter if you think it's not important, you never know. Let's give these family the answer that they deserve.